So we're going to be looking at adding and subtracting fractions. What are denominators and what are least common multiples? Denominators are the bottom number in a fraction. So, for example, in 1 over 2, 2 is the bottom number, therefore it would be the denominator. Here it's 5 and here it's 4. Simple enough. Okay, least common multiple is a little bit more complicated, so let me break that down. So we're going to be trying to find the least common multiple of 5 and 4. To do that, we write down the table. We write down the multiples of 5 and the multiples of 4. You don't have to make a table like this, but just write down the tables of 5 and the tables of 4. So we have to find the least common multiple, meaning the first number that matches. So we write down the table and then we see if 5 comes in the table of 4. No. Does 5 come in the table of 10? No. Does 15 come in the table of 4? No. Does 20 come in the table of 4? Yes, it does. It's the first common number. So we see what you have to do to multiply to get 20 in both 5 and 4. We see that 5 times 4 is 20 and 4 times 5 is also 20. So when you need to add and subtract fractions, you have to make sure that the denominators are the same. So that's really, really important to know. So let's continue on the problem. 1/5 plus 1/4. So now that we know that we need to make the denominators the same, and to do that we have to find the least common multiple. We know the least common multiple is 20. So we should do, this is what we need to do. 1 over 5 plus 1 over 4. 1 over 4. Here, we're going to multiply by what? So 5 times 4 is 20. So we know that we're multiplying 5 by 4. So you have to make it like this. This is what we're multiplying to get 20 in the denominator. To get 20 in the denominator here, you have to multiply by 5. Because 4 times 5 is 20. And the reason we don't only multiply the denominators by 4 is because what you do to the bottom is what you do to the top. So you have to multiply both the denominator, and the top number is always called the numerator. So you have to multiply both the bottom and the top. So now you have to multiply across. So we do 4 times 1 and then 4 times 5. Let me just move this. So that would be 4 times 1 is 4. And then 4 times 5 is 20. And then we do addition. And we see that 5 times 1 is 5. 4 times 5 is 20. There we go. Now once you have the same denominators, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is add across and make the denominator the same. So you do equals, keep the denominator the same, because you're not adding those. You're adding the numerators. 4 plus 5 is 9. There we go, and that's your answer. Alright, so there is a simpler way to find the least common multiple and get the answer when you're adding and subtracting fractions. So the way you would do it here is you look at this number right here and you multiply it to the number on the left, the fraction on the left. So you take 4, do 4 over 4 and multiply it to the fraction on the left. And you take the denominator on the left side, which is 5, and then you multiply it to the fraction on the right, so that's 1 over 4. You do 1 over 4 times 5 over 5. You multiply these two and you multiply 4 over 4 plus 1 over 5, get 4 over 20. You do 1 over 4 times 5 over 5 and get 5 over 20. You add the numerators and you'll get 9. It's kind of the same thing, just more simpler. And you can do the same thing with subtraction and same thing. I want you guys to try out your own problems. So I have 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3. I want you guys to pause the video, try it out yourselves. Use either or method. You could use this method or the table method, whatever you like best. So I'm gonna do the table method first. So we're gonna write the table of 2 and table of 3. So 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 5 is 10. Now let's see, we're gonna do 3, and then 3 times 1 is 3, 3 times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, and then we can already see that there's a least common multiple in here. Now we see does 2 go into any of these? Does 4 go into any of these? Is 6 one of them? Yeah, 6 is one of them. So we do this. These two are the matching ones. The least common denominators for both 2 and 3. So we're gonna see 2 times 3 was 6, and 3 times 2 was 6. So we're gonna do 2 times 3 here. So it's gonna be 3 over 3 times 1 over 2, and then here is gonna be, so 3 times 2 was 6. We're gonna do 2 over 2. Do multiplication right there. So we're gonna do this. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. That's plus 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Now the denominators are the same. Now we're just gonna add the numerators, the top ones. So 3 plus 2 is 5 over 6. That's the table method. Now if you guys don't want to do the table method and you find the other method easier, we could do that too. That way we're gonna do, so it's 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3. Here we're gonna take the right denominator, which is 3, bring it over here, make that 3 over 3, multiply it here. We're going to take the left denominator, which is 2, bring it over here, do multiplication, 2 over 2. We're going to multiply 3 times 1 and 3 times 2, that's 3 over 6, plus 1 times 2, which is 2, 3 times 2, which is 6, that will equal 5 over 6. You see how here we're doing the same things, 5 over 6, 5 over 6, 3 over 3, 2 over 2, 3 over 3, 2 over 2. It's kind of the same thing. So let's try a subtraction problem now. We're going to do 1 over 2 minus 1 over 3. Here we're going to try to get the same common denominators. I'll do that method. So that will be 3 over 3 and 2 over 2. Multiplication, that's 3, 6 minus 2 over 6. Denominators stay the same. And all you have to do is subtract the numerator, the top ones, you subtract those, and that'll be 1. And then 1 over 6 is the answer.